Faith Fulfilled, Book 2, The Cursed Diamonds, Chapter 3, The Truth. Slowly but surely, Mike was lifting object after object and tossing them. He tossed rocks, branches, and even tried to lift some trees from their roots and toss them. Destiny was sitting on a cut stump.
Just so you know, I'm not cleaning this all up.
Of course not. Hey, let's have Ray do it.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Mike looks down at the snowy ground below him. He begins to feel numb on the inside.
Stop.
Huh?
You're thinking about it again.
What?
What happened at the village? You're thinking about it again. Stop. That's all over now, so just let it go.
You sure you're not a legacy holder yourself? 'Cause I swear, you can read minds sometimes.
Body language can tell you a lot about a person if you pay attention to it enough.
Well, you missed a detail that I was also thinking about. Thinking about what Notch said.
Hey, I never said I was perfect. But no, I've been thinking about that too. He said to travel eastward after you reunited with Clyde. That tells me he wants you to take Clyde along with us.
Oh yeah, no question. Clyde might be, is a total buffoon. But he's no stranger to going on adventures. He and I have been on countless journeys together.
But what on earth is a structure of knowledge long forgotten?
I don't know. Maybe a temple?
That doesn't make any sense. Forgotten, maybe, but temples aren't structures of knowledge.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they have scrolls or something in there that have some history or ancient records.
I guess.
Ooh, strongholds! I've seen a couple of them before. They're always super mysterious and creepy with all its weird hallways. There's gotta be some knowledge there, right?
Huh. Actually, about the stronghold, I feel like there was something else there.
Oh my, look at this mess.
She did it!
Mike said, pointing his finger at Destiny. Destiny just glared at him. Amy walked over to a tree that had been broken. She brushed her hand across the trunk, feeling the hard, cold, splintered wood.
A little piece of advice. You shouldn't destroy everything just because you can.
Mike looked around the scene.
Huh. I guess I did make a bit of a mess.
You think?
I'd like for you to clean this up. Then, I need to talk to both of you in the library.
Library?
The little common room where we keep our books. I just like saying library because it makes it sound more grand. I once wanted to be a librarian, you know.
Really? I didn't know that.
You learn a lot when you learn to listen.
A library!
Destiny shouted, jumping up from her seat.
That's where we're supposed to go.
What are you talking about?
A structure of knowledge long forgotten. Books have all sorts of stuff in them. Spells, history, how to survive with just the clothes on your back. There must be a book in some sort of abandoned library that we need to find.
Oh my, you might be right, Destiny!
Regardless of whether or not it's a library, there's something out there waiting for us.
We need to head out right away. I can get stuff together for us to leave tonight. We just need to find Clyde and let him know.
Mike starts to run off, Destiny behind him, when Amy stops them.
Hold on. You mustn't leave in such haste. I agree with you going as soon as possible, but you must plan your trip ahead of time. Get everything together, and make sure you're well rested before you go. I can make some food for you to bring, but only if you leave tomorrow. Also, I still need to talk to you. So pick up these trees, get cleaned up, and I will see you in the library.
She's right. Maybe planning ahead is our best option right now.
But, okay, will do.
Amy walked off back towards her and Ray's cabin. When Mike knew for sure she was out of earshot, he turned to face Destiny.
Jeez, sometimes she acts like such a mother.
I wouldn't say that too loud. She has super hearing.
Really?
Feels like that sometimes.
With that, they followed Amy back to the cabin.
I don't get it.
Destiny said as she walked, the snow crunching under her feet.
Okay, one more time. How does a person get some exercise?
How?
By taking a jog around the block!
Nope, still nothing.
Seriously? You know what? I'm not explaining it, because then it's not funny anymore.
Fine, whatever. Just proves I'm better at telling jokes than you. You know, since people actually laugh at mine.
Okay, fine, Miss I'm the funniest person in the universe. Tell me a joke.
Clyde's fighting skills.
You're right. That is hilarious. Actually, he's been telling me he's been doing really good at training. He goes to practice in the forest.
Huh, really? I'm gonna have to ask him to show me some of his moves.
I know, right? I've asked before, but he always dodges the question or changes the subject. Although I'd be careful with your wording. He might start flirting with you.
Yeah, definitely.
The two arrived at Amy and Ray's cabin. When they went inside, they immediately took off their boots and felt the carpet beneath their feet. There was a fire going, and the smell of pumpkin pie filled the room. Amy came out of the kitchen with an apron on her waist, oven mitts in her hands, and her long brown hair tied into a bun.
Ah, you got here quicker than I thought you would. Everything cleaned up?
Yeah, it wasn't too hard.
Says the person who was picking up twigs.
Destiny shrugged him off and walked toward the fireplace. The heat warmed her cheeks, and watched the flames dance and sparkle. But what's a dance without music?
Do you have a jukebox?
She asked Amy. Amy started up the stairs, Destiny following close behind. Mike stayed back and walked around the main room. He had never really examined the cabin before. The ceiling was high enough to fit a balcony on the second floor overlooking the main room and the entrance. There were beautiful poppy-colored couches in the center, and a small table with a fruit bowl. Lanterns lined the walls, lighting the living area. Over by the fireplace was an armor stand with a full iron suit. It shined as if brand new, but the scratches and chips in it proved otherwise. A glimmer of color shined off the leg of the armor, standing out against the pale gray. Mike turned around toward the source of the glimmer, and saw something lodged in between the couch cushions. He reached down to pick it up when he heard Destiny call from upstairs.
Mike, come here. I found a really cool disc I like. It's super fun to dance to.
Oh, jeez, here we go again.
Mike said before quickly grabbing the object and heading upstairs. He entered the common room to find Amy sitting on a couch, chuckling as she watched Destiny examine the different books and dance to the music.
I don't think I've read this one yet.
She said, picking up a small, worn hardcover book.
Remind me to let you borrow it. Now, come sit down. You too, Mike.
They sat next to each other on the couch across from Amy.
Oh, I found this in the couch cushions when I was looking around downstairs. I'm guessing it's yours?
Mike held out the object. It was a small gold chain with a gold pendant at the end. There was a small green emerald embedded into the center of the pendant.
A necklace, I assume?
Oh my goodness!
Amy exclaimed as her eyes widened.
You have no idea how long I've been looking for this! I thought I lost it for good!
Her eyes started to water as she stared at the necklace.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my boy.
Yeah, no problem. Glad I was able to spot it.
Amy wiped her tears and smiled. She took a moment to just stare at the necklace.
Where did you get it?
Ray actually gave it to me back when we were still young.
She laughed, thinking back to all the good days with Ray. All the fun they used to have with each other fighting monsters, and all the sweet moments they used to share. Then she looked up at Mike, and the memories of the day she gave him up came flooding back. The pain of knowing she couldn't raise her only child, only watch it from afar, if she was lucky. Her heart sank, and her smile faded.
What is it?
There's something important you need to know about your family.
My family? You mean Frank and Isabella?
No, your true family.
You mean my birth parents? They aren't my true family. They gave me up. Frank and Isabella are my true family.
But do you know who they are?
Amy asked, fighting back tears.
No, I don't. And it honestly doesn't matter. They could be dead for all I care.
You don't mean that.
Of course I do! They didn't care about me, so why should I care about them? I doubt they even miss me. They're probably out living their lives happy as can be without me.
You have to understand.
The room started to shake. Paintings were shifting from their upright positions and books began falling from their shelves. The three immediately stood but started to lose their balance. The ground felt like waves beneath their feet, threatening to toss them on the ground. Amy held onto her necklace for dear life. Destiny grabbed onto the arm of the couch to balance herself, and Mike just stood wobbling, steam still coming from his head.
What's happening?
Destiny cried as she was thrown to the floor.
It's an earthquake! Quickly, protect your head! Under the doorframe! Mike, you too!
Mike didn't move. Amy grabbed him and quickly pulled him under the doorframe. He snapped out of his daze and grabbed onto the side, covering his head and Amy. The tremors subsided, and everything stood still. The jukebox had tipped over and there were books all over the floor.
Is everyone okay?
I guess. What did you call that? An earthquake?
Yes, but I haven't felt one for almost 20 years.
What caused it?
Well, it's when the planet's crust moves and...
I did.
Mike was still standing in the doorway. He had a sense of horror on his face.
What?
I must have. I got so frustrated and mad that I moved the planet.
That's impossible.
Yeah, well, I've been doing a lot of impossible things lately, Destiny. I hardly think this is outside of my limitations.
Whoa, hey, there's no need to be so rude.
Sorry, I just don't know what happened.
Suddenly, they heard the door open and a voice cried from the first floor.
Mike? Destiny? Ray? Amy? Anyone?
That's Clyde! Clyde, we're up here!
You need to come down here right now.
Okay, we're coming.
They all raced down the stairs and saw Clyde, freezing, with Lucas in his arms. Clyde's jacket was wrapped around Lucas, and he looked almost dead.
Please help.
Clyde pleaded.
Lucas? Oh my notch, what happened?
Lucas lifted his head slightly and mumbled something quietly.
What was that?
Everything gone. The village is destroyed.